The problem with Stripe Atlas. I just met a client today who owes the state of Delaware over, well, basically about $200,000. And this is because he trusted Stripe Atlas to file his annual report the right way, and it was done incorrectly. As a matter of fact, there's a number of mistakes that were made here, and I want to go over all the mistakes in this video so you don't make the same mistakes and so that we can all learn from these mistakes together as a group. Because this is another foreign-owned U.S. company owner who, if he had an LLC, had the right kind of company in the right state, could have avoided all these taxes, all these penalties, and now paying me all this money to fix it for him. So I don't want this. I don't want you guys to be wasting money paying states, paying fees for no reason. So watch this video and let's figure out how we can avoid these mistakes ourselves. So in a little summary, this guy lives in Pakistan and he opened a company with Stripe Atlas in 2020. He opened a U.S. corporation and just paid Stripe the annual fees and thought that's all he had to do. Well, if you're here watching, you guys know, because you've been watching my videos, that I talk about this all the time, and there's a lot more that you have to do. Not a lot more, but a little bit more at least. You can't just pay your annual report. You have to comply with the IRS stuff. You have to comply with the BOI, the BEA, all these stupid things you have to deal with. But the biggest one is doing the state filing correctly and doing the IRS filing correctly to stay on top of all that stuff. So the first big mistake that he made was with the state registration. So first of all, he registered a corporation, the wrong type of entity. In his situation, if he had an LLC, he would be paying no income taxes. And at the time, I don't believe Stripe allowed foreigners, non-U.S. persons, to open U.S. LLCs. I think their system only allowed foreign people, non-U.S. persons, to open corps. I think now you can open an LLC with Stripe Atlas, but before you couldn't. And that was a big problem because it's the wrong type of entity for this guy. Corporations are generally more expensive and more complicated to own, and they pay U.S. income taxes. Whereas in this example, if he was using an LLC, he wouldn't be paying U.S. income taxes. We haven't even finished that calculation yet to see if there are more taxes that have to be paid. So we're still working on that. The wrong company type is the first part of the state registration. The second part that he did wrong was he issued too many shares to himself. Having all these shares is what created this insane fee with the state of Delaware that we can fix, but filing an annual report for a Delaware corporation isn't as simple as just paying a fee. There's an actual report you have to file, and there's a different franchise tax that's calculated based on how much your shares are worth, how many shares you have issued. There's two different ways to calculate it. I'm not going to go into that in this video. Maybe I'll make a separate video for that. If you want to see that, comment, and I'll make a separate video explaining how the franchise tax in Delaware is calculated for a Delaware corporation. But in any case, it was done wrong, and he has $80,000 due, and they're calculating another $100,000 due for this year, and then with penalties and everything, it's going to be over $200,000 to the state of Delaware for a company that just, you know, a guy providing a service. It's a simple company. It's not a big company. The second mistake that I'm seeing made here is that there's no accounting. So I think having accounting is super important for your business so you can know what's going on. You can know if you had profit or loss, but especially for a corporation, you need to know how to calculate your tax and your related party transactions. I went over this in my last video, and I'm going to reference it in a minute. But if you are a foreign-owned U.S. corporation, you have to disclose all related party transactions, and you have to pay a 21% income tax on your income, on your business profits. Now, if you don't do that, there's going to be huge penalties for not disclosing the transactions, and then even additional penalties for not paying your taxes and filing your tax returns on time. So these are really important to do, and you can't do it without accounting. Additionally, with a corporation, you have to do annual corporate minutes. You have to have shareholder meetings. You have to make sure you comply with all the requirements of having a corporation, which are much more voluminous and complicated than owning an LLC. And then the last mistake, the biggest mistake here, which is going to cost the big amount of money, is that there was no tax returns filed since he opened the company over 3 years ago. There was no Form 5472 disclosures, which are going to result in potentially huge penalties. And there was no actual taxes paid. He has money here now in the company. There's money in the company, so there should have been taxes paid, but there weren't taxes paid. So this has been a potential issue for this guy, and it could have been easily avoided if he would have just spent a little bit more money, worked with a lawyer or a CPA who knew what they're talking about. Granted, there aren't that many, and opened the company correctly the right way the first time, and then operate it the right way. And now we're talking about a lot of fees to me to fix this problem, and potentially more fees to the state of Delaware and to the IRS, depending on what numbers we come up with and what we're able to submit in the filings. So if you're new to this and you need a new LLC and you want to expand to the US, you want to get more clients, you want to grow your business, you want access to US bank accounts, I encourage you to schedule a call with us on our team. We help people every day expand to the US. And I know opening an LLC is easy, but opening the right LLC, the right accounts, filing your forms the right way, and having guidance with a team that does this for people every day, there's a lot of value to that, and our clients are very happy to work with us. Soft pitch, okay? To the sponsor of this video, James Baker and Associates, myself, right? And if you want to keep learning about this, check this video out. I just filmed this one like right before this. I just filmed this video. This is how to avoid IRS penalties. So this will show you how to file your extension and what you need to know to file your extension and get more time to file your taxes if you already opened your LLC and you want to avoid these kind of issues in the future. So check out this video. I think it'll be really great. And I hope this was helpful. I'll see you on the next one.